beauties, welcome to my channel. I'm Zoya Day, a licensed esthetician, and this is Day's Beauty Room, your #1 source for professional skincare advice, product knowledge, and esthetician tips. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and let's get started with today's video. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing different wax tips for first-time waxers and anyone who's been just waiting to get back into the waxing lifestyle. I'll be going over what to expect during the service, how to prepare for your first wax, and we'll go over a little bit of aftercare. So let's get started with the video. My first step is definitely one of the most important steps when getting waxed, and that is making sure your hair is long enough to be waxed. So you'll need about 4 to 6 weeks of hair growth, and if you don't grow out, a lot of hair, you might have to wait a little longer than the 4 to 6 weeks. You might have to do 6 to 8 weeks depending on your hair type. So rule of thumb, you just want it to be longer than a grain of rice, and that's about 1/4 of an inch, I believe. Once you're towards the end of the service, you'll have to kind of tweeze any leftover hairs, and the longer your hair is, the easier it is for the wax to pick up. Now, my tip number 2 is definitely something that is totally up to you, but I know a lot of waxers, including myself, definitely recommend it, especially for first-time waxers and anyone who's taking a little break, and that's taking some sort of an over-the-counter painkiller like Advil, Aleve, or anything like that. And I also know some people like to have a drink of some sort beforehand, usually like wine, a shot, anything like that. I've also heard people do things like taking some type of a CBD product to help with calming your nerves, and it does help with pain a little bit from my understanding. But like I said, you can do your own research and figure out what works best for you. My tip number 3 is to exfoliate. Now, this is something you should already be doing at least 2 to 3 times a week, whether it be your face or your body. You should definitely be exfoliating regularly. But if you do plan on starting your waxing lifestyle, exfoliating is definitely going to be key in helping keep down ingrowns. It also determines how easy and smooth your wax will be during and after the service. But if you haven't started exfoliating yet, you definitely want to exfoliate at least a day or so before your first service, depending on where it is, whether it's your legs, bikini, or Brazilian. You definitely want to make sure you're exfoliating to release any dead skin from around the area and to help prevent any ingrown. Now that we talked about my top 3 tips for new waxers, let's get into what to expect. So for your first time, it is definitely going to hurt. Whether it's your first time ever being waxed or your first time in a long time, usually the first time back is always the most uncomfortable. So definitely be prepared, which is why I recommended taking some type of pain medication or having a drink or whatever you choose to do. So definitely be prepared to be a little uncomfortable. So another thing you should expect during the service is to show a little skin. Now, depending on the service, you might have to either undress fully from the waist down or removing your top if you are doing an underarm, anything like that. So one thing you can do is either bring like an extra pair of bottoms if you're getting, just a full leg, or if you're doing just an underarm or a full arm, you can bring an additional undershirt so you're not fully exposed. But keep in mind, if you are going to be getting a Brazilian, you are going to have to be naked from the waist down. Now, bikini service do have the option to wear either some disposable, underwear if the esthetician offers it, or you can bring, a pair of underwear you don't really care about, and that'll help you get more comfortable and not have to worry about being fully naked on the table. Also, you want to keep in mind your esthetician is going to have to get up close and personal regardless of the service. It can be just brows, a lip, or a Brazilian, and that's really only to make sure that they're getting every hair and they're being 100% thorough during the service. And depending on, again, the service you're getting, you might have to assist your esthetician in some way, shape, or form, so be mindful of that. So a few things to keep in mind after your service is to expect your esthetician to give you aftercare. And that is going to be across the board. If your esthetician is licensed and professional and is serious about what they do, then they are going to be pushing aftercare no matter what kind of service you are getting. Because you only see us once a month, and so we're only able to take care of you in that moment. The rest of your treatment and results will depend on you. And if you're not following the aftercare, you're definitely not going to get the results you're looking for. Keep in mind that the first time you're getting waxed, no matter the area, you are going to notice a little bit of redness and sensitivity, and that's only because there has been hot wax and hair being removed from that area, so it's going to be inflamed. One thing you might also notice is a histamine reaction, and that's just pretty much swelling of the skin. All of that is normal and can be taken care of with some over-the-counter hydrocortisone cream. It's going to be good at helping calm the skin and relieve it of any histamine reactions. Usually the reaction only lasts for the first maybe 24 hours at most. But to make sure you don't cause any more irritation, you want to make sure you avoid pools, hot water, saunas, any type of activities that will cause friction in the area. So working out, having sex, anything like that has to wait. And you also want to keep in mind when looking for an esthetician that they are professional, knowledgeable, and have an understanding of how to work with wax and the waxing lifestyle. Now, that might not always be easy to find right off the bat, and it can take trial and error. So like I always recommend is going to Instagram, and that'll help you narrow your search down just a little bit and hopefully help you find your ideal esthetician. And when you do find your ideal esthetician, you want to keep a few things in mind when visiting their spa or salon, however they have it set up. You want to make sure that their salon is clean and sanitary. You want to make sure that your esthetician is not doing any type of double dipping at all during the service. You want to make sure all the tools that are being used have been properly sanitized and disinfected. And if you are going to be getting a waxing service provided in your intimate areas like a Brazilian, underarms, or your face, you want to make sure that your esthetician or whoever is providing your service is holding your skin taut. That is going to help with so many things. It's going to help prevent any extra unnecessary pain. It's going to help prevent any lifting or pulling of the skin, and it makes the wax appointment overall easy for you and the esthetician. All right, and now you have a few tips and pointers for your next wax visit. If you have any questions or any additional tips, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I'm constantly posting daily tips and skincare advice. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video.